Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. We welcome you to the Spice of Life variety show. You indeed are a very special person. Doesn't matter about your background. You were created in love, through love, and because of God's love for you, that enables you to be labeled a very special person. So thank you for tuning in, very special person. You are in for time of education and something that you can put in use in your own individual life, and so you will want to grab your pen and your paper and copy down our information as we go along. We have a specialist in the house, not just Pamela and myself talking. And also too, you want to copy down our email address, our phone number, etc., and contact us. We would love to have your prayer requests. We would love to hear from you. We're certainly delighted that you are in, and we do give holy greetings to Bishop Charles E. Blake and Mrs. Mayo Blake and the entire West Angeles family, from our hearts to your hearts. God bless you. Pamela Webb, how art thou?
I'm great. How you doing, Dr. Lewis?
I'm doing just great.
All right.
You're looking nice.
Oh, thank you. We have an important, one of those informative.
Okay.
One of those informative shows.
Okay.
Holistic health education.
What is that?
Well, we're going to let our guests explain.
Okay.
I do have the different, but I'll let the pro do that.
Okay, all right, okay. In the person of Dr. Adrian Wright. Thank you so much for being here.
for having me.
Better known as Dr. A.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Doing just fantastic.
You look beautiful in those clothes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So you're here to shed light on holistic health education. But before we go there, Pamela, did you know she's the eldest of 7 children?
Oh, yeah, I've read her bio.
From Phoenix, Arizona. That's a hot place, huh?
Yeah,
very hot. When I fly with Phoenix, I always see all the swimming pools there.
Yes,
you know they do. I said, okay, this is Arizona. I see all these pools here. Okay, how do you qualify to be our specialist on the subject of holistic education?
Well, it's amazing. In 1985, I was in a very serious car accident, and just on the top of the world of business, in the business industry, and boom, it came. A lady made a U-turn into traffic, and I had left brain impact, but I had both right and left brain damage. Now, I had just gotten off of a plane working in Europe for a corporation, so I had a little jet lag, and it left me completely paralyzed on the right side, totally deaf on the right side, 70% deaf on the left side, and for 6 years. And I had
for 6
years. And I was having approximately 14, 15 seizures a week for 6 years. And I had a team of six doctors, approximately $400,000 worth of medical bills after that incident. And the medicine just wasn't doing anything. It was just making me sleepy. The Dilantin for the seizures, I just didn't seem like I was getting anywhere. So a friend of a friend referred me to a holistic doctor like myself.
Okay.
And it was just like she was just telling me exactly what I needed. I was the first one in line, and I began the journey. And the journey was more of a holistic approach versus medicine. And I never got off my meds in the beginning.
Okay.
And I had to change my diet drastically. I eat no red meat, no pork, no dairy. I don't eat shellfish. They must have scales and fins. The fish tend to be more cleaner. And I was taking up, believe it or not, 65 capsules 3 times a day.
65 capsules.
Yes. 60. Herbs are considered food in a capsule.
Oh.
And then I juiced. I was juicing 2 to 3 times a day. When we say juice, most people would think the fun juice is like fruit juice, ice cream, etc. No, we're talking about asparagus and carrots.
Oh my goodness.
Spinach and carrots.
Wow.
Or spinach, carrots, and cucumbers.
Wow.
So it was a combination. I was eating whole food,
Okay.
live food.
Okay.
And then I'd been taught that you can't juice and let it sit because it loses its nutritional value.
Okay.
So you must juice and drink it immediately.
Okay.
So I was eating whole foods, more organic, no fried foods, if I ate any foods at all, but predominantly juicing and taking herbs. Herbs.
Wow.
And before you know it, I start seeing things happening in my body.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And I start weaning myself because the doctors gave up. You had a team of, 6 of them? They just gave up. They didn't know what else to do. They sent her home. If she lives, she would be a partial vegetable, be paralyzed, and deaf for the rest of her life. And as time went on, the hearing started coming back. I did have to learn the language. So I am fluent. I'm certified in American Sign Language. It was my language for 6 years.
That's amazing. That, how does, that's even a whole different show. Mentally, how does one survive and live through 6 years of being
It's
paralyzed?
a strong constitution, and I must say, I had some people around me that were not as honorable. I did have amnesia for the first 6 months. I knew my parents and the family, but I didn't know where I knew them from. Things were taken from me and stolen, and then yet I had people that were very supportive. And once we got rid of those types of people, and there was a more positive, because there were times I didn't want to live. There were times I wanted to die. I couldn't sleep at night. I'd go days and I just couldn't sleep because of the damaged nerves. And of course, remember, I was paralyzed also on one side for 6 years. So I was deaf, paralyzed, and I was having seizures, and it was just devastating. So the only thing I can contribute would be the strength of one's constitution, also the relationship that you have with God, and if you didn't have one, and what relationship I did have, it increased. Yes, so it took you to a totally different realm, and it made you focus. And you know what? For the audience out there, you must. We take it for granted. You're making 6 figures a year, driving a company car, moving high, mobile on the employment market, and yet in one hit, you're flat on your back. 1 second. You have nothing. You have nothing. And the greatest lesson to be learned is that you can do nothing without excellent health.
Amen.
You can't do anything. It's hard to praise God. It's hard to have relationships with your spouse or with your children. You're irritable and don't know why. It's all because of poor health. And a lot of times it's just the little bitty things, just changing. You can change something very small and see a magnificent result, and then you say, well, maybe if I go to the next level and change something else, and before you know it, you're more into optimum health.
For example, what are some examples? So what could the average person change that could really make a difference? What
we take for granted, a lot of people don't realize, and I'm coming from, and I'm an ND, a naturopath, so I'm equivalent to a medical doctor in the holistic world. Our approach is totally different than the MDs. Now we need the MDs. When the body is in a degenerative state, you have acute, subacute, and chronic, then degenerative. So when you're in a chronic and a degenerative state, we need meds to help pull us back. But then when the clients come to me, you don't take them off of the meds. We use herbs, which is God's medicine, to assist the body of the hit of the chemo or of the radiation or of the medications that they're taking. However, a lot of the medical industry don't realize that the major culprit of the body getting sick is the colon. You have 9 systems in your body. And of the 9 systems, the 3 most important is eliminative, that's the colon, nervous, and the digestive, that's when the food breaks down. So if you keep your colon clean, that's your the culprit there. It's the energy will just automatically. People say, "Oh, I don't have any energy." They hadn't had a bowel movement today. See, a lot of people think, well, I have clients, they have a bowel movement once a week and they think that's great. Or they may have a bowel movement once a day and they're eating 3 meals a day and they think that's great. If we deal foundationally, let's give you an example. If you have 3 meals a day for 5 days, 3 times 5 is 15 meals. You have 1 bowel movement a day for 5 days.
Wow.
That's 5 bowel movements, right? I take the 5 bowel movements and subtract them from 15 meals, leave 10 meals. Where are they? The body is so magnificently made. It's smarter than you and I, and it just holds on and it holds on. And a lot of times people go, oh, my stomach hurts. It's your colon that's hurting. The stomach is here, right up under the left nipple.
Okay.
My stomach is hurting. It's not. Or they feel that you look at a person, they're not fat, but they've got this bulk in the, it's just nothing but fecal matter hanging in that colon.
That's amazing.
You've got 23 feet of small intestines and you've got 6 feet of large intestines. And you hear people says, well, I'm going to do a 10-day cleanse or I'm going to do a 30-day cleanse. You can't clean a colon out under 90 days.
Under 90 days.
Under 90 days with consistency. And we as human beings, and I'm just as guilty, we have challenges with consistency. Because what happens is, once you start eating right, you start taking the herbs, and you start feeling good, and your skin start looking good, and your hair start...
I've made it. I've made it.
Right. You're only in about a month, right? But it's the deceit. You're deceiving yourself. You must continue on. And then simultaneously, what I try to get the client to do is that their food be their medicine and their medicine be their food. And the hardest thing is to change your diet.
The medicine be the food, and the food be the medicine.
Yes, yes. You don't want to be on herbs all your life. You don't want to be on meds all your life. Your ultimate goal is to eat nutritionally. And to eat properly. And eating nutritionally means, for me, from my philosophy, is to eliminate certain foods. And in red meats and pork, it takes 25 to 30 hours to digest per meal. So if you had bacon in the morning, you had a hamburger at night, at lunch, the bacon still hasn't digested. But I'm going to go home and have a T-bone steak or porterhouse steak. The bacon still has not digested. So we wake up the next morning, we're tired, and we don't know why. And then you hear people say, well, they have the parasites. They're in Africa, they're in India, they're in China. They're right here, the beef worm and the pork worm. And they get into our bodies, and they manifest, and they multiply. It's not like you would get pregnant and have a child, maybe twins, triplets would be rare. But when a parasite gets pregnant,
how many?
multi, just so many, and they continue to multiply. And when you remember one thing, disease cannot live in an alkaline, clean body. Disease is hosted by a toxic, acidic body. So if we alkaline our body, keep it clean, that means elimination, bowel movements, eating the right fibers, eating the right foods, the fruits. We even have to teach you how to food combine. It's amazing what your body will go through. And there's a little small a sidebar here about food combining. I've not reinvented the wheel. I took it from the book Fit for Life. I've just eliminated the red meat and the pork and the dairy. Okay? When the first thing you do when you go into a hotel, let's say a restaurant, they give you a fruit dish. It's everything, bananas, apples, oranges, and melons. Wrong. The philosophy of food combining is all fruits are to be eaten 15 minutes prior to meals, or 2 to 3 hours after a meal. Otherwise, it rottens and decays in the colon.
That's amazing.
Now, what's even more amazing, you've got 4 categories of fruits. Really 5. The first 4 is melons. You can wake up in the morning, have watermelon, cantaloupe, eat melons. But we must wait an hour and a half to 2 hours before we introduce an acid fruit, which is an apple, an orange. Then you have your subacid fruits. And then you have your sweet fruits, your bananas, raisins, dates, that sort of thing. So when you combine them, it causes havoc in the eliminative and digestive system.
Wow.
So that's where the burping and the belching comes in. Okay? Now, that's just with the fruit. Now let's combine our foods properly. When you food combine properly with foods, you don't combine carbohydrates and proteins. I'm a meat person. So if I want a baked potato and eat meat, let's say chicken, it causes weight gain, indigestion, fatigue. The other night I had a taste for a baked potato. So I baked a potato and I had steamed asparagus. So the moment you put a carb with a vegetable,
Okay.
you can pig out, and you'll have all the energy to work all night long.
Okay.
The moment you combine a carb, which is let's say a potato or rice, with a protein, you're going to get tired.
With meat.
With meat, yes. Yes. And those that like beans and rice, bean is a protein.
Bean is a protein.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Beans are protein. So
like
that's
red beans and rice is not a good.
We love them.
It's not a good
But we love them. We love it.
I know, and it's
We love it, but it causes you to be tired. So if you gave a party and I came to your house, I'm going to look at what. But if I don't quite know what it is, I'm not going to eat it.
Okay. That's number one.
Or what? Or if I know you well enough, I'm going to say, okay, does that have beef or pork in it? Because I don't eat beef or pork.
Okay.
Then I'm going to pick out, especially if I have something else planned or I have another engagement or appointment to go to. I'm going to combine. Okay, what is my taste bud today? Is it more toward vegetables or is it more toward meat? And I'm going to combine properly so that my energy level will be up for me to go to the next task.
That's amazing.
And it causes less. You don't belch. You don't burp. Now, even with some people, as we get older and become more mature, our bodies get depleted of amino acids and hydrochloric acid. That is what God lined our stomachs with to help break down our food.
Okay.
So myself, I take enzymes before I eat to assist the digestive system to break your food down. If the food is not broken down properly and you have undigested protein in that colon, then all of a sudden you get stressed this morning.
Really?
The stress now, that undigested protein is now dumped into the bloodstream and it's toxic, and then it leads, it's like a domino effect. Then you have allergies and you have sinuses, depending on what's going on, what is your weak link in your body. So it's like a snowball effect. So once we deal with the foundational, but a lot of people don't realize that digestion starts in the mouth first. See, because
How you chew it?
Yes, you have saliva glands,
Right.
and so it starts digesting, and that's why I don't chew gum, because if you chew gum, the stomach is getting ready. It's thinking food is coming down.
Okay.
And food is not coming down. So it's a false alarm, see?
Okay.
Okay? So you're chewing, and you're supposed to chew 25 to 30 times per bite. And a lot of us are fast eaters.
Hello.
So now
Couple times.
so the digestion did not finish stage 1.
Okay.
So now stage 2 is stomach.
Okay.
So now if it doesn't complete stage 1 properly, when it gets to stage 2, the stomach is laboring. So now we have problems. So now constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, gas, burping, allergies.
That's amazing.
So it's basically like a snowball effect.
Okay.
And then a lot of people say, well, Dr. A, why is it that you don't like, what's wrong with dairy? The mucus. I don't eat bananas. I love them. Bananas is very high in mucus. It creates mucus.
And I love bananas.
Yeah, they say, well, you know, there's so much potassium. It is. It is. But an apple a day will keep the doctor away.
so that is good. That is good. That's no.
The apple has more potassium, is much more. It's a water soluble. It's a fiber. It scrubs the colon. It does a lot of things. So I will switch you over to an apple versus a banana. When I have a craving for a banana, that means I'm potassium deficient.
Okay.
So I'll either go and get it through a potassium herb,
Okay.
and then sometimes I just want it, so I'll get my godmother or my mom to make me a little banana nut bread, or I'll go to a health food store and get a little banana nut bread, and it satisfies that moment. But I don't eat a lot of dairy, because what happens is that when we intake a lot of mucus, and I know some of you out there love butter, love all of the yogurt and all that. Go to soy. They have a wonderful silk milk. It's soy. They also have a yogurt. Do a soy base or do a rice base. You still can get it. I love bacon. I use turkey bacon.
Okay. I
So
just
there's,
graduated.
and I love, and for those that are very ethnic and you like your greens and you like them smoked with a ham, go smoke turkey.
Okay.
There's ways of getting around it, or bacon to season it. You still season it, it doesn't change, and the food is just as good, and we're using fresh vegetables.
Dairy.
But now back to the dairy. The dairy's a little culprit. Do you know a lot of dairy can age you? It makes you, the less dairy you eat, the more youthful, because it gets into the tissues and cells. When the tissues and cells are not healthy, that's when the aging process speeds up. We're all aging. But when you want to have vitality and energy, the colon must be clean in the tissues and cells. How do we do that? We do that with a lot of water. We do that by eating whole foods. I don't eat canned foods because of the chemicals and the synthetics. I don't eat frozen foods. I do eat fried foods, but I do the frying. I use certain oils. There's certain oils that I don't use that causes problems in the body. But back to the dairy.
Wow.
When you have a surplus of dairy, it lines your colon. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that once the food goes to the mouth, hits the stomach, it's going right down to 23 feet of small intestines. And the small intestines is a very important vehicle besides passing the waste through the colon.
Okay.
It absorbs the nutrients to the body.
Okay.
If the colon is lined with mucus, there's no absorption. You're malnutrition and don't even know it. It's going right out in your waste.
That's amazing. So I know you say you don't deal with the dairy products, but for cereal, for milk, how many times a week could one be safe? Well, no, your solution would be to go to the soy or rice base.
Leave it alone. Cow milk is for cows. This is our milk for humans.
Is there a bit of a difference of taste, pretty much? You have to
I
get
like
accustomed
that.
to that.
That particular. There's several different brands out there, and you get used to it. But
Get used to it.
I think Silk milk is made by Silk. They have a yogurt now, and I always love yogurt, and I buy it, and you can get it in the health food store.
No, really?
And I like soy base better than I do rice for me. And but you acquire your taste. Now let me tell you a little secret. Once the body is cleansed and cleansing, what my taste desire prior to cleansing is different than what it is now.
It was before.
Your body will resist you. It will resist you. It's smart. Let's use water, for example. The same way it's very similar to food and water.
Okay.
Your kidneys are no bigger than this. They're tiny on each side in the back here. And on top of it is a little nut called the adrenal gland. Okay? Client says to me, Dr. A, I don't like water. I drink maybe 1 glass a day. I don't like... But they've got headaches. They're tired. You're 2/3 water. Nothing takes the place of H2O. Nothing. I don't care what juice, nothing. And the worst thing most people do is soft drinks. Is damaging and tearing up the kidneys. Now, almost inevitably, I have to put a water schedule together for the client, because those that are not drinking water, if you need 8 ounce glasses of water a day, you just don't start giving your body that. You don't do that. And the rule of thumb, I find, for determining how much water your body needs, you take your body weight, divided by 2, will indicate approximately how many 8 ounce glasses of water you need per day, providing you're not a marathon runner or you're not in the gym every day. Okay. Now, I said 8 ounce glasses. You have to work up to it. So we start a schedule and start you out at 3 8 ounce glasses a day for 3 days, and on the 4th day you increase it to 4. Stay there 3 days, and on the 4th day again increase it to 5. So what you do is get an 8 ounce glass of water before you go to bed. Set it right there at your desk, at your table. I mean, by the bed nightstand. Put a little something over it. As soon as your little happy feet hit the floor, you down 8 ounces. First thing you're going to go do is eliminate and dump anyway. You're going to flush the kidneys out. You're getting ready for work. You can get another 8 ounce glasses before you even leave. It's about programming. It's about a lifestyle, and it's about making commitment to you. Now, people say, well, Dr. A, I don't like it because you go to the bathroom so much every time you turn around, and can't be. You know why? Your kidneys are saying, well, look, girlfriend.
You're trying to start something. What is this?
You haven't been giving me any water before, so we don't believe you. So it may hold on to it for a minute. I get smoked. It may hold on because it doesn't believe you. Because it's like, oh my God, she's giving me water. Let me hold on to this because we're not going to get no more. And then so you're going to urinate more initially because the kidneys are not used to functioning. But then guess what? Normalization kicks in. So the kidneys normalize themselves. Say, well, what you said?
She's serious, right?
She's serious. I can now chill. So the kidneys start functioning. If you don't use them, you're going to lose them. You don't want to get on dialysis.
No.
So you start urinating less frequent, but more mass, more volume.
Okay.
Now, the problem that we have as human beings, we're not supposed to eat or drink anything after 7 or 8 o'clock at night if you're going to be in bed by 10. Mm-hmm. So the first thing people do, they drink the water, they go to bed. What are the organs doing? When you go to bed, what are the organs doing? They're resting.
Trying to relax too. Yeah, they want to relax.
And then all of a sudden you put all of this water and the kidney says, what are you doing to me?
That's me.
What are you doing to me? So then guess what happens? You're about ready to go into the deepest, most important sleep.
Get up.
Kidney says, now you got to wake me up. They're irritable. You're irritable. It affects the nervous system. You're getting up, going to you're not supposed to get up for anything. You're supposed to sleep all the way through. So we have to put that in check. So irritability level can be and what you're eating before you go to bed at night, not eating enough of certain things, not drinking enough. Same way with food. You eat all that food, you go to bed, it lays there and ferments and rottens in the colon. You're setting yourself up for colon cancer.
The devil is a lie.
Remember,
Wow.
it's the cesspool there. That's it holds your waste, and it's supposed to be in and out on a continuous basis.
Oh, okay.
And when you're in and out, a lot of times most people, they eliminate just center. It doesn't get to the walls. That's why you have to have a lot of fiber. So when clients come, it's easy to take a pill. But the most difficult is to change your lifestyle, to take this new journey and commit to it. And once you do, and the body starts cleansing, the body's going to start craving whole foods versus devitalized dead foods.
That's a lot of information. You are, like you said, you are walking encyclopedia.
And it's just that I've lived it.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly living it. And I'm getting younger every day.
You are.
Yes, you are. And I feel that when you start getting 60 and 70, these are the prime of your life. This is the time you're supposed to enjoy life. You're supposed to be pain free.
Okay.
Do you know the young men coming to me are now between 23 and under 30 with prostate cancer?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing. You know, we're gonna have to continue.
Yes.
But audience, we have not you. We have been challenged by the information that Dr. A has given us. We have to make some changes in our lives in order to extend our lives, the quality of our lives. If you want to contact our guests, certainly email us, and we would love to forward you and connect the two of you. Come on, let's decide to make at least one
this
change.
together, yeah.
At least one
One
change,
of us, yeah.
and the stores one change at a time.
Yes.
Until next time, do know that we love you. The blessing of the Lord rest upon you, and let's make some changes in our lifestyle.
That's right. We're going to go for it.
Okay.
We're going to do this stuff.